We're always bringing you great real estate content on this channel, but today we thought that we would do something different and bring a little bit of Chad's Italian heritage to you. So here is Chad's pizza oven. This is the Alfa, imported from Italy. Nice Christmas present from last year. Let's go inside and I'll let Chad, the pizza man, take it from here and start with the prep.
All right, so now we're gonna make the pies. First thing I'm gonna do is take a look at this dough. Everything's risen really nice. It's ready to go, be nice and easy to work with. It's gonna be really, really, really airy and crisp. So the first thing we need to do is use flour. Flour is your best friend here. So what we do was we put it all over the counter, just to give you some working area, and then we put some on the pizza peel. And the reason why we use flour on the pizza peel is when you put the dough on it, it'll be able to slide off nice and easy. If you don't, it gets stuck, and if you try to take it out and put it in the oven, it's gonna just, all your toppings and everything's just gonna fold over and look like a mess. Trust me, I know. Okay, now we're gonna get the dough. So you see how nice that looks. So now we're gonna take the dough out of the bag, and there's a special trick to do this. We rip the bag apart. Instead of trying to grab the dough and pull it out where it'll get all stuck to your hands and everything. Take it out, and I flip it right on the dough, right on the flour. So now we're gonna stretch out the dough, but first we need to add some flour. Now we're gonna gently press down to try to get a lot of these air bubbles out. And everybody has a different style how they knead their dough. I just do it whatever works right. There's no right or wrong to it. So we just do a little, make circles, make it a little bit bigger. Now with it being left out all day rising, you get a lot of air in there. So you just gotta be careful when you do it. So now we're gonna stretch it out a little bit. So you basically use your knuckles. You just lightly turn it and pull. You don't wanna pull too hard because you rip the middle and then you're in trouble. But you wanna keep doing this. And if you get really good at it, you could do this. All right, now we have it all stretched out on the pizza peel. So now we're gonna take it over and we're gonna start doing our prep for the pie. I first take extra virgin olive oil, first cold press. I just give a small coating on the bottom. Next, I'll take some dried oregano and just sprinkle around a little dusting, just to give it some flavor. All right, now I'm gonna take the San Marzano peeled tomatoes. Remember, only San Marzano. I already have them in the bowl. I already crushed them up. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just put it all around the pizza here. Now the trick with this one is, it's not like regular pizza sauce. It's like chunks of peeled tomato. You don't have to have the whole thing coated. Just enough to give it the flavor and the look. One of the things you should always do is try to get it to the edge as much as you can, because when everything cooks, everything likes to go toward the middle. Same with the cheese. All right, so now with the tomato sauce, this already has basil inside of it, so you get that nice sweet taste as well. So now we're gonna add the mozzarella. So I have this pre-sliced mozzarella. You could put it on full, but I don't like to do that. I like to break it apart and just give it little random pieces around the pie. Again, you wanna make sure a lot of it's toward the edge, so when it melts it comes in, but it doesn't have to be perfect. Again, everybody has a different way of doing it. This is the way I grew up learning how to do it from my Nonna. One thing about this pizza oven that I have, if you load it up too much with too much cheese, too much toppings, the middle of it won't get cooked as well, because the outside is so hot from the oven. The outside will get nice and crispy, but the inside will get mushad. You don't want that. So I just put a nice amount of cheese on it, just to give it a nice little look. Now I'm gonna add a little more spice. So I go back to the oregano, another small dusting, not a lot, just enough, because oregano is a very strong spice. I put some dried basil. Now people say, why do you put dried basil if there's already basil on it? Because it gives it that nice little hint of sweetness from the basil. So we just give it a nice little dusting as well. All right. Then I add granulated garlic. It's not garlic powder, it's granulated garlic. Big difference. And then there's an old rule of thumb. There's no such thing as too much garlic. So now I add some minced garlic on the top. No vampires in this house, you're good. So you just put a little bit on your spoon and you just give it a little bit of a shake over everywhere and around the pie. All right, this is what our pie looks like before we bring in the oven. So now we're gonna go out to the oven and we're gonna put this baby in there and cook some pizza. All right, now we got the oven at a good temperature. The pizza's ready to go. Let's throw her in. All right, so now what we're gonna do is put the pie in. Here's a little trick I learned many years ago. To get it off the peel very easily, you pick up the end and give it a little blow of air. Then as you slide it in, it comes right off the peel. Now we're ready to go. Okay, so the pizza's in the oven, and what we're gonna do now, I'm gonna keep an eye on it. And in a few minutes, I'm gonna turn it around so it gets cooked on both sides evenly. Because you have to keep an eye on it. If you don't turn it, it burns on one side and it stays raw on the other. So I'll be back in a few minutes. Now, if you take a look at the pie in here now, on the left side, near the flame, you see it's starting to get brown. So that tells me I'm gonna have to start spinning it so it gets evenly cooked. All right, so this is my other pizza peel that I use to turn the pie. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna come in here, just give it underneath the pie. And I just give it a couple turns here. So I turn the pizza around, so the one that's mostly cooked is on the right side, and on the left side is gonna get cooked nice and even. All right, just like the sign on the plate says, all you need is love and pizza. So now we're gonna continue putting on the fresh basil from the garden. It smells so good, oh my God. This pizza looks great.